How do you pick influencers? You guys, there's a lot of different influencers out there in a lot of different niches. And how do you, first of all, you find those, but how do you filter out through the ones that you're actually going to want to run shout outs on to start getting some sales? There's a lot of stuff we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to actually switch in the middle of this and pivot from being inside of my computer to going inside of my phone. And I'm going to show you some live examples and we're going to search through some together. So first of all, when I'm picking an influencer, and you guys are going to see this here in a second, I'm only using Instagram. Now, the reason I do this is very simple. It's an Instagram influencer, right? Which means they're on Instagram, right? Hence Instagram influencer. So you don't really need to leave the platform. Yes, there's places like Shoutcart where it's a brokerage website essentially. The reason I don't like to use those is for a couple different reasons. First of all, accounts that are quality know that they don't need to be on there to get money, right? People are gonna see it naturally. They're a good account, they can make them money, so they're gonna reach out. So aside from that, and this is the biggest thing that I don't really like, if you have that middleman, the price is going up, right? If there's a middleman involved in any business, the price is going up, right? We're drop shipping. We're the middleman, okay? We're the connection, the connector piece from the supplier to the buyer, and we're marking the price up a lot, okay? So that's gonna be the same exact thing that you're gonna see on all these different websites that sell shout out space and whatnot. So using Instagram itself, again, we're gonna show you a live example here in a second. It's just searching different keywords, both for people, which is the accounts, as well as through hashtags. You're gonna see my exact strategy on how I'm doing that in here about 5 minutes. So the first thing I just wanna talk about, keep this in mind. If you're running a shout out on any page, I wanted to bring this up because it's common sense, but common sense is just not that common anymore. Niche relative. What do I mean by that? It has to be congruent. So let's say you're selling an iPhone case, right? It's just an iPhone case with a picture of a hat, okay? A random iPhone case. If you're trying to market that on a camping page, you know, it doesn't exactly line up. There's not congruency there. You have to make sure the niche of the product aligns with the niche of the audience you're trying to target. Otherwise, you're gonna run into a whole bunch of different issues, okay? So that's the first thing you have to know. If you're running some sort of, you know, electronic store where it's flash drives, USB, you wanna put it on a gamer site, like, you know, gamers, video games, electronics, computers, whatnot. It just has to be congruent and niche relative in some way. Keep that in the back of your mind. Now, once you find influencers, which you're gonna have an abundance of influencers once I show you how to do it here in a second, there's a few different things you have to do to filter it out. And I'm actually gonna go through and give you a live example and a demonstration of all of these sites, but there's these main two that I use, and they're a little bit different, and I'll show you what the differences are. Flanks, okay, that's a great website that allows us to view their engagement, as well as Social Blade. Social Blade really shows us exactly what's going on right now. You just go over, hit the Instagram one, and we're actually gonna pull this up and I'll give you an example here in a second once we pick a few different influencers. Same thing with Flanks, you're just gonna go to platform and engagement calculator. So those are two tools that we're gonna be using to really filter through what influencers are gonna work, and that's gonna significantly increase your odds of actually having that influencer work if you're looking at positive numbers. Now, aside from that, and this is something you're gonna see as well, legit engagement. I basically just think about this as comments. So you can see they have 3,000 likes and let's just say 50 comments. That's good, but you have to look through the comments because the comments can have what's called an engagement group. And this is essentially where 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 different accounts, all in similar size, similar niches and whatnot, come together inside of a group that can be over DM, over apps like Telegram, GroupMe, any of that different stuff. And they're basically liking and commenting on each other's posts right when they post. And the reason they do that is to boost it up in the algorithm so they get more likes, more whatever. The problem with that, and that's what we're trying to avoid a little bit, is because it's not exactly real engagement. We want real people tagging real friends, commenting real stuff who are showing genuine interest. So I'm gonna show you how to filter through that. It's super simple, but that is something to really think about and look for as you're going through the comments. So let's go through and give you a live example here. I'm gonna pick a random niche and I'm gonna show you exactly how I would be searching for that. So let's jump into my phone. Okay, now that we're inside of here, I hope you guys can see everything. This is just a very, very old Instagram account for a Shopify store I used to have back in like 2016. So long time ago. I'm just gonna show you guys a couple different strategies you can use to find influencers. Now, if we hit the search bar here, I'm gonna type in a keyword for a niche. Let's go with one of the most basic stereotypes. Let's go with dogs, okay? We're gonna do a couple different ones here. Let's start with dogs, and I'm gonna show you the two different ways you can actually use to kind of find the influencers, and then we're gonna filter through them both in here, and then jump back into these two websites that I showed you on my computer, okay? So if we go here and type in dogs, first thing you're gonna see is when it says top, okay? You see that right there? You can hit people, top. This is just gonna show you the top accounts. This is the stuff that's rated the best, people are engaging with the best. So usually I like to do a little scroll down and just kind of click through some of these. You'll see 619,000, okay? First thing I noticed right off the bat, look in their bio. It actually has an email account. Now, what that means, and I know this might not seem like a big deal right now, but it will once you start running these. When they have a direct method of contact like that, where you don't just have to DM them, it makes things so much easier, like a billion times easier, because it's so difficult to actually get people to respond. So not only am I noticing that, I'm also seeing that they have a Cat's Instagram account. Okay, that's right there in their bio as well. But I'm noticing that the content is a mixture between picture and video content. That's a very good thing, because if you see some of these posts, 1,600, 3,200, okay, this is just awful engagement. We're not going to do this page, but look, these actual videos have a lot more views. Okay, have 40,000, 23,000, just an insane exponential amount higher than the regular pictures. That's a good thing. That's why you want a healthy mix between picture and video content, because video content has a much higher chance of hitting the explore page. So let's back up. That page was not good simply because the engagement, 3,000 likes, 1,600 likes is way too low for a page with like 600,000 followers. So see, this one even has higher and has a fifth of the amount of follows. Okay, going through 66. Let's just use this for an example, just to dig a little bit deeper. 3,600 likes and 52 comments with only 142,000. That's not that bad, but let's dive one layer deeper here and look at the comments, okay? This is what I mentioned. You see all of this. Did these look like real people? That's the question. You can go through and click yes, yes. The thing I'm looking for specifically, or ideally looking to not have in the comments, is pages that look very similar, okay? So other dog pages that have 10, 20, 30, 100, couple 100,000 followers, because that means they're in engagement groups. So you see a lot of people tagging other people. That's a sign that it's very engaged. This page overall doesn't get me too excited because it's mostly picture content, but this could be something to work with, okay? It says DM, so you could DM them, maybe ask for their pricing. If it's a cheap price, you could test it out, okay? So this page right here, nothing too amazing, not bad. We're gonna go through and keep looking at a couple of these. Let's do this top one. 1.5 million, dogs lovers. As you can see, really good amount of engagement. We go through here, look at the comments. Let's see, best, okay, a lot of stuff here. We're seeing people tagging other people, making sure all these people are legit. I just like to scroll through it very briefly. Obviously, they have well over 1,000 comments. You're not going to scroll through all of that, but it looks good. And if we go find a video, if they even have one on here, okay, 340, yeah. So they have a good account. You can just tell right off the bat. So you see this, 50,000 likes. It's a good amount of likes for their amount of followers. It's not that bad. Now, if you go over to the video, it's like 3 to 5 times that many likes for views. That's a good ratio. And like I just mentioned, the videos are going to hit the explore page a lot easier. That's why you want to make sure they have some videos. Okay, as you can see, one thing you do want to notice is if they have a link in their bio that's not to another Instagram account or something, make sure it's not a link to a store using their exact name, because that means they've created their own Shopify or e-commerce store and they're doing drop shipping themselves. So they're probably not gonna let you promote on there. That's one thing to look at, okay? That's one way to search for them. You can just search dogs. You can do the same thing for puppies, right? Puppies for all, same exact thing, and look through them. We're gonna go through and break a few of these down here in a second. But if you hit this tags button over here, it's the second to the right, you'll get a lot of these different ones. Puppies of Instagram, puppies, let's just do puppies of Instagram, okay? You're gonna see 14 million posts, that's a lot. What do you see right here? Like right now on the screen, you see the hashtag and you see 9 different posts. So these are gonna be 9 different accounts, right? All of these different accounts that have hit the explore page, you can go through and look, see which ones are any good at all. This is a little bit small. This one, 47, okay, not too bad. Again, a little bit small. You can go through and look at all of these, dog ideas, little small, but you're also not only gonna get those 9 accounts that it's giving you right there, but look at this, right up here at the top. It's gonna give you 5 other hashtags that relate to that. So every single time you click a hashtag, and again, we can go back to this list and pick more, but it's gonna give you 5 more. And off of those 5, each one gives you 9 posts. So you're really getting a big tree branch of posts. You're gonna get a lot of reach. Pups of Instagram, it's gonna give you Pups Gram, whatever. all of these different accounts, and you can really just go through here. This is a good way to filter through and see which ones would work well. Pupstagram, Puppies of Instagram, a lot of different stuff. So this is a lot of stuff you're gonna see. It's like a personal dog page. So it's almost like an influencer page with a specific person, but for a dog. So it's like, this is, you know, Steffi and Baxter, 2 dogs, and this is their page. So it's not just any random dog goes on a page. So you can really just go through, look at these if you want, see which ones are good. And there's a lot of different things you can do. Puppy life, all these mainstream, and look, it's giving you another 5. There's an endless amount of pages you can find. So if you're ever saying, oh, I don't have any pages, you know, I can't find influencers, here you go. You don't have an excuse for that because there's so many different pages. Okay, you might be in a niche where there's not that many pages, then maybe you should focus on Facebook. You know, we have the Facebook module, obviously, but doing Instagram, it's very likely there's a lot of influencers for your niche, unless you're in something super hyper targeted. So let's just go back here a minute. We're gonna back up to this search. We're gonna go here. We're just gonna go back and pull one of these dogs pages. Let's go to one that's kind of medium sized, okay? This one looks pretty good. Insta_dogs, okay? Remember that, because that's a page that we're gonna jump back onto my computer. We're gonna jump back on my computer and I'm gonna break down exactly what this page's statistics are to really see if it would be good, because overall, looking at this right now, a lot of video stuff. It does well, a lot of comments. Look, 5,300. That's great, good amount of followers. They're posting frequently 2 days ago, they're posting a lot. Okay, it looks good, but you really don't know. You have to peel back the layers. So let's jump back inside of my computer and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean by that. Okay, so now that we're back over here, we're gonna be using these 2 websites for that account, Insta_dogs, that we just went through and broke down. Let me actually put that here just so you guys can remember, as myself included. But Instadogs, okay, remember that was the one with 900,000 that we just broke down. We're gonna go through and use these 2 sites. Let's start with Flanks. The main thing I'm using this for, again, if you go back to the homepage, it's a paid platform. You don't need to do that. You just hit platforms, the down arrow, and do engagement calculator. We're simply using this to see the average engagement. So if we do Insta_dogs, that's what the username is, it's gonna give us the amount of followers, the average amount of likes, views, comments, everything. And so we can really see, okay, here it is. That's an L, not an I, okay? So almost Insta, that username must have been taken for him. But so 903,000 followers, a 5% engagement rate. That's very high. The main engagement rate we're looking for, ideally, engagement rate, and this is just an average range you should be trying to stay within, is about 2% to 5%. That's what you'll typically see for a quality influencer. So the fact that this is above 5%, that's really good. 45,000 likes, that's very high, especially this amount of comments to likes. That's what, like over a 2%, 2.5% comments to likes ratio. That's extremely high. So they have a lot of engagement here. This is a page that I would test out. I would go further to reach out with them, negotiate, and ideally test a post on their page. So that's what we're using Flanks for. You can just plug in absolutely any different, you know, you can, I don't even know, just dogs. I'm sure there's a page for that. You can really see for absolutely any account what the engagement is. Yeah, so you can just look, break it down, super simple, free to use. Now, Social Blade, this is something where you can really break down anything for multiple platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. We're just gonna stick with Instagram here. Instagram username was LINSTA, so LNSTA_dogs. Hit enter, and that's gonna show us right here. Okay, here's the first thing I notice, consistency. This is a big thing you need to look out for, and you can double check with this graph. That right there backs it up. These are legit followers, and this has grown organically. You wanna know how I can tell? Look at this graph. The graph can't lie. If it's moving like a stair-stepping pattern where it's like flat for a long time and then just up 20,000 followers, then flat, that's fake. They're buying in chunks. This is every single day, consistently, they're getting about 2,500 followers, okay? They're posted a few times a day, that's actually a lot. You can actually break it down a little further, go to detailed stats, and inside of here, you'll be able to back it up a little bit further. That's consistency right there. And you can tell this day where they didn't grow a lot, it was just because they didn't post. That page looks solid. This is extremely solid. You can tell by this. This doesn't matter too much. That's just the amount of people they're following, which isn't a lot. Total uploads, very consistent with that. This you can just tell right off the bat, solid page. So if you're in the dog niche, you have products that relate to dogs, this is a page you could potentially test. So that's how I'm going through and breaking it down. I don't want to drag this video on any longer than it needs to be, but please do take into account that you can't just search for random pages, find one and test it. You have to really do your research, find the right pages, and then filter out through what's going to be a good page. So look at the engagement, look through the comments, and go a layer deeper. Go to both of these websites and see exactly what's going on. That's just going to help you, because I can almost guarantee that when you're going through and finding pages, something's going to look good, and then you're going to go and back check it. You know, I just call this cross-referencing on Social Blade or Flanks, and it's not going to turn out that well. So you're going to see it's going to be a lot of red, or maybe it's 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 10,000 in one day. You want to stay very, very far away from those. So that's really going to help you ensure that every single page you're going to be testing has the potential to bring you a result. This is super important, picking the right influencers. There's a lot more that goes into this, you know, contacting them, negotiating, and setting up the shout out. We're going to be covering that in these next few videos inside of this module. So I'm going to see you over there.